By the way, so finally, let's start with the VIKTOR reveal. Let's go.
The time of machines is now. A new
Okay, by the way, I, Felix, we're gonna react to this together. VIKTOR, 4 mana, 2/4, augment, run start, create an X score upgrade in hand. You played 8 plus created cards. Okay, so, let's see all of them, and then we're gonna share some thoughts, because if not I would start talking a lot about this.
Begins. Behold my exquisite creations.
Okay, that's MK2, 2 mana fast, deal 2 to a unit. Create a Death Ray MK3 in the top 3 cards of your deck. Well, that's really interesting. X score upgrade slow, 1 mana. Grant VIKTOR a random keyword. Okay, that's interesting. Although random keyword, come on, not a big fan of it.
No improvements. Humanity needs a leader of superior intellect.
And one with an iron fist.
We must improve.
Okay, so the MK3 is just deal 3. Did it cost 3 or 2? 3, okay, interesting. Ephemeral is not from the random keywords. Even the patched Porobot doesn't get ephemeral, so...
We must improve. We must evolve. As humanity ends, the machines rise.
Wow, guys, that animation is sick, by the way. 4 mana, 3/5, your created cards cost 1 less, run start, get an X score upgrade in hand. I figured that it was something like mana costing less or stuff. Like I thought it could be like cost 0 mana, like Aurelion Soul, but since he is so small in mana, then created cards cost 1 less, it's a big deal, anyway. Iterative improvement, 2 mana burst, pick a follower, create a copy of it in hand with +1/+1. That's kinda interesting.
Genius! Another brilliant design. A vision of progress brought to life.
Okay, guys, the hype is real. But yeah, now we just saw everything, so now let's recap a bit what we just saw. By the way, to level up, do you need to have VIKTOR on board? This guy looks sick. Yeah, exactly. Like the artwork, the lore behind him, like it's completely insane. Like I myself am a huge fan of like going for technology, logic, intelligence, you know, so like it pretty much reflects my... Probably I wouldn't be so psychopathic as he is, but like I really feel... this guy, you know? This galaxy, I don't think so. It's like Lee Sin, I think. Yeah, now we're gonna check everything back together. So, like, VIKTOR... Where is he? Come on. No, don't. Okay, VIKTOR. You've played. So, no, it is just... even on deck. So, that's much better than what I saw before. Like, I was thinking that this is coming so much later in the game. Anyway, playing 8 plus created cards is not like a simple thing to do, you know? Like, really, it's pretty hard. Like, probably on turn 8, this is gonna come out leveled up. By the way, if this is on board, it is much easier to do, because of course you are creating every turn an X score upgrade, which is a pretty desirable card anyway. Even if it is random, it only costs 1, and it makes VIKTOR grow bigger. Like, you have to think that the X score upgrade is really grant +1/+0 to everything on your board. Because if you are in an augment deck, that's how it is. So everything that costs 1 and is created, like Ignition, for example, from the Ballistic Bot, is completely insane. We saw that yesterday. So that's very huge. I'm not a big fan of it being random, because, like, of course, if you get good stuff like Quick Attack or Elusive, think about Elusive getting it at the first time, or Spell Shield as the first, that's completely insane. So, of course, I'm not a big fan of RNG in any games. But I mean that's fine. Probably with I don't know if augment is a mechanic. Probably you can't get back mechanics. Keywords that you already have. So that's what I'm guessing. But yeah, like I wonder how this is gonna change as new and new mechanics are keywords are introduced in the game. Like now it is not so bad. But for example, if augment is really a specific keyword. So I wonder if they in the future are gonna give more and more like specific keywords like these, and then VIKTOR how will be like evolve in the meta, you know? This is one problem that random has. The more and more stuff that you had, the more random it becomes. For example, even like Remembrance from Demacia. The more and more 5-drops they add to Demacia, the more and more their card becomes RNG. For example, before the Screeching Dragon, you were much more likely to get the Radiant Guardian, which was the best drop that you could get from Remembrance before she was nerfed. But so if you know what I mean, like I don't like the design behind it being random. But it fits Piltover Zone. That's also kind of true. Because Piltover Zone, like, you know, they're all mad scientists doing crazy stuff. You don't really know what to expect from your experiment. So it is only okay that VIKTOR is trying to improve himself, doing experiments on his own body, and then, like, he doesn't know what he gets. It could be like an insane elusive or spell shield, or it could be like a much more less intriguing tough, for example. But yeah, if you build your deck around it, it's probably not that hard. Of course it is not that hard, because for example, you have to also to consider that VIKTOR works with himself. That's a huge keyword, like a huge component of it. Like, for example, as I said from Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench doesn't need your deck to be full of capture. You know, of course if you do, then he is better. But VIKTOR can work by himself. In a turn that this is on board, then this is gonna level up. Of course, you can speed it up a bit, like a lot. For example, with just Ballistic Bot, it takes only 4 turns. Like, so you have to like try and build your deck with cards that create cards which cost pretty much nothing. So for example, even like Trial. Or something, VIKTOR plus gems, exactly, Felix. That was what I was thinking. In fact, like, I did comment in some other videos, like, the Piltover Zone with VIKTOR is very, very aggressive oriented. Like, I don't know if you saw the reels from yesterday, then we're gonna go through all of them again. But, like, they have a lot of burn. Like, even I can't remember the name because those are very new. Like, the 4 mana spell, deal 3 to anything. That can be, targeting the face. Oh my god, Poro Cannon is going to be... Exactly. Like, I didn't think about that. This gives 2 charges, like, +2, grant +2/+0, if you play the 2 Poros, to everything else with Augment. You create 2 cards so that you can speed up the VIKTOR by 2 and they only cost 1, and it fits the aggressive playstyle of a Piltover Zone with gems. So yeah, that's completely insane. Didn't think of that. But yeah, anything that creates card now is completely sick. Because they really act like vision. You know? If you have Augment, any card that it was created is like a vision to all your Augment units, which is completely bonkers. So yeah, like I said, it is not that easy, by the way. Like, let's not forget about this. Probably it won't come leveled up on turn 4. Like, that's completely... probably impossible. Because if you play 1, 2, and 3, they all cost 1, that's still 6. So it can't be played leveled up on turn 4. It is much more, like, possible that you play these on turn 6, leveled up. And from that, you only get that you that your created cards cost 1 less, but in that point, since you already played 8 of them before, you probably will not have any more in your deck. But for example, imagine the Poro Cannon that you said, if VIKTOR is already leveled up, then they cost 0. So every card that costs 1, then will cost 0. Even like the Ignition. So like really, yeah, every card that it gets created, which costs 1, is completely insane with VIKTOR. Even more than before, because VIKTOR then makes them free, which is completely insane. By the way, so VIKTOR, yeah, very, very great. Then we see Death Ray MK2. So like this is very, very nice. Like this is not only for control, this is completely sick. Not only you get a Mystic Shot, basically, that's the same. You can't of course burn with it, but if you are a control player, then you don't really care about burning your opponent. So this is a Mystic Shot, which then also pretty much it makes sure that you have also another removal on the top 3 cards. If you just draw it like in 33% of the cases, you will draw the MK3 as your top deck, you know? So this is basically remove their turn 2 and turn 3 consecutively. So like against aggro, then you go to turn 4 without them having deployed any turn 2 or turn 3, which is very, very good for a control deck. So like of course this is not always the case. You will draw that a bit later, maybe on turn 6, if it is not in the top card of your deck, but in the last of the top 3 cards. And this is probably gonna hurt you, because you want to draw better stuff on turn 6, but you know, you could have drawn them before that happens. So it could be a dead draw, or a pretty insane draw if you draw it on curve. But I feel like this is gonna be meta. Like this is pretty strong. Correct me if I'm wrong, or if you think differently than me, but I feel like this is a very good control tool, especially since the faction is Piltover Zone, which is already pretty good at controlling the board. So like, yeah, this is straight like, sorry, this goes immediately in a Swain easy deck, for example. Like, even, I don't know, probably easy, could probably use more Mystic Shot, especially easy Swain, because then you can stun more with Mystic Shot. But yeah, like, easy Draven probably will use this instead of Mystic Shot. But yeah. So then, what do we have? What did we see? Okay, the Mechanized Mimic, we already saw that in the first. What other region and champion would you play to support this VIKTOR deck? Well, of course Targon. Targon with gems seems completely insane. Like, it could be experimented, since there is a bit of plunder theme going on, especially with the Ignition. And Piltover Zone is pretty good at burning, so like we could also see a complete burn version of this deck, with for example with Bilgewater and the plunder effect going on, or even like a more mid-range version with like probably Sejuani, but like no, probably there are better options to go for plunder specific deck. Like, I could see these, Piltover Zone and probably Noxus, as just a burn archetype, with a VIKTOR in it. What does the Hourglass icon on X-Core upgrade mean? This, that it is fleeting. So it means that if you don't play it this turn, then it gets discarded. So like, yeah, we saw that. The X-Core upgrade, pretty good also with the Mechanized, whatever, the 5 mana that we saw the other day. The Mechanized Mimic, yeah. That is pretty sick. Like, imagine if you get Nyan Cat, and then you go Mechanized Mimic, then this is, like, yeah, like, it is pretty tricky to evaluate, really. Because they seem pretty good, but they actually need a lot of synergy. Like, not all the times you will get this. For sure, this is gonna, I will experiment with this concept a lot in the first days. But, yeah, probably it seems too good to be true. I will say that. Like, it seems too strong, so maybe it is not. You know what I mean? So then what we saw... By the way, the animation. Like, let's see that again.
We must improve. We must evolve. As humanity ebbs, the machines rise.
Like, really, guys, I get, like, goosebumps. I get those goosebumps, you know? Like, really... It's probably the sickest animation that we ever saw. Probably one of my favorite at least. Very, very great. Like, I don't know, all the animations going on, the arms, building the card, you know, like, it fits so much with the VIKTOR character. I love this animation. By the way, so we saw also iterative improvement. VIKTOR is a great spin on the mad scientist archetype, don't you think? Mad scientist. I'd bang. Lol. What do you mean by the mad scientist archetype? Is there ever was an archetype called the mad scientist one? By the way, iterative improvement. Pick a follower, create a copy of it in hand with +1/+1. That's pretty sick. Like of course, these on the top of my head, I don't think about an insane follower that you really want to copy. Of course, everything that has a very desirable on-play effect, probably a bit expensive because if it was a cheap unit, you are playing 2 more mana to play that unit again. So if it was a 1 mana card, then it really becomes a 3 mana card. So then also something that wants to get the +1/+1, so probably something with a desirable keyword. So maybe an elusive could be fine, but it's pretty expensive for an elusive deck. Like if you want to go all burn, imagine like it with Ionia, for example. If you want to copy a Greenglade duo, like then it is double the cost for just a +1/+1. So like yeah, that's tricky. That's pretty tricky. I don't know what could be very good with this card. So no, I don't mean like a gameplay archetype. Then what do you mean? What is a mad scientist archetype if it is not from gameplay? But then let's continue. Okay, so those were all the cards that we saw. Am I missing something? Come on, if you misclick, you get an a stroke immediately. Yeah, that's probably all we saw. Archetype like a ser. Ah, okay, okay, I know what you mean. Like, yeah, so probably VIKTOR, and if you want to be the crazy archetype, then probably with Jinx, this could also fit. Because they are kind of crazy. Instead, if you want to go for the scientist one, then Heimerdinger. That could, like, Heimerdinger with VIKTOR for a more like control style play. That could also be pretty interesting. I don't know then augment how much would benefit from that. But yeah, also VIKTOR Heimerdinger, all Piltover could be interesting. Probably if you want to go that, then probably Piltover, VIKTOR Heimerdinger with a bit of Shadow's Idols, so that you will have. So yeah, turrets are created. So of course, like it works with VIKTOR, but like I meant, augment is a pretty aggressive mechanic, you know. So that's what I meant when I say that I don't see how augment really fits in a control style deck. But of course, I know that turrets are created, and so that they will augment the augment units. But yeah, so there is a lot of room for like experimentation with VIKTOR for sure. Like I see him in a lot of archetypes. Also Catastrophe. Let's not forget about that. Like if you want to go all in with Catastrophe and then VIKTOR and augment, like probably it's a bit different. Like if you want to create cards, then you are creating a lot of cards with different names, so that you could always like choose which card you don't have in your deck, so that you can maximize the number of cards that you're playing. And so like Catastrophe could even be a thing. But of course, Catastrophe gets completely annihilated by just a vengeance, so it's probably a meme, but it's still there. Like I will probably like experiment also with the meme. But yeah, guys, I think that's it. So now I don't know what I want to do, because I will probably release a reaction video of this on YouTube, but that always gets a lot of views. So probably I will just end the stream a second, and then we're gonna return, like I edit as a crazy person, and then we continue the stream while I upload the video. We're gonna talk a little bit of it anyway. Are they created go hard in the deck going to augment? Probably yes. I think so. Like even counterfeit copies created cards, they should augment. That's my guess. I think. So yeah, even go hard, exactly. Like if you go in Shadow Islands, you can go for like VIKTOR, Heimerdinger, and go hard. Also lots of draw from Piltover and Zone. Lots of copy potential, like guys, really. Like imagine Grand Machinist Zevi, the cards copied by Grand Machinist Zevi are created. I'm pretty sure about that. So like you can copy the Go Hard with the Grand Machinist Zevi, which is something that you want to do anyway, because you want to cast a lot of Go Hards, and then you also augment everything by doing that. Like really, there are so much cool concepts going on with VIKTOR. Like I like him a lot, really, both from like lore, design. Probably the only thing that's really is not for me is the random keyword, but that's fine. I will give them I will give that to Riot. So yeah, guys, I will just end the stream just a second. I will edit this reaction, probably also my more in detail analysis of these, and then I don't know if there will be time left for a proper stream. But you know, in like reveal season, I don't really know how to stream yet. This is my first time, so we'll try to figure that out together. So that's it for this stream for now. But if I'm gonna stream also later, I will say that to you in the Discord as always. So yeah, guys, that's it for this stream. Hope you liked it and find it useful. And as always, see ya.